Okay, so we have several Dalmatians that are here at Paradise Farm, and the one that we actually came to help, because she does not get along with other dogs, is, well, she of course walks away as soon as I go to film her. She's back over there. We'll work with her momentarily. But right now, I wanted to talk about the group because their guardian is a wonderful person who rescues dogs, especially Dalmatians. Mostly all Dalmatians. Okay. So, and what we have here is a dog that is saying, "I want your attention. Paw, give me your attention. Give me your attention." This usually, when you have multiple dogs, and so you have another dog here begging for your attention, another dog that's literally climbing up on top of you. So these show a lack of the proper boundaries in terms of respect. So what I like to do is I call it petting with a purpose. So that means that I don't pet the dogs at all unless they do something for me first, either sitting, coming to me, or lying down. Now, a lot of people talk to their dogs too much.
Right.
When the dog sits, they're like, "Oh, what a good dog, you sat down. You're the smartest Dalmatian ever. How did you know?" They don't know what any of that means. That's all for us, and we don't need it. So all I do is just simply repeat the command word as soon as they do the action. So as soon as they sit, I want to be rewarding that within 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, the longer you go, the harder it is for them to make the connection. So what's this one's name that's liver?
Mimi.
Mimi. Sit. 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 So when a dog is proud about what's done, its nose is tilted up in the air, or parallel to the ground, or tilted up. So I want her to feel good about doing the things I want her to do. Sit. Sit. Mimi. Sit. Sit. This will work better when I have treats. There we go. Sit. Sit. I can pet anywhere, but I prefer to pet here because I want them to feel good about the things that I want them to do. But it has to happen within a couple seconds.
Right.
So if we let them climb up on us, that shows a lack of respect for you. And since I know you love them and take good care of them, but we need them, a lot of people misinterpret rules or structure for being mean. For dogs, especially dogs that have come from an abused situation or have been abandoned, they feel more secure when there are clear rules, boundaries, and structure. That way they're like, I don't have to worry about things. She's got it under control. So there's two ways to do it. Number one, if the dog comes and nudges at you, climbs at you, scratches at you, or barks at you, tell it to sit one time. If it doesn't sit, then don't ask anymore. Then the dog blew its opportunity. You're not going to pet it.
Okay.
Now, if you have two dogs that approach you because you have multiple dogs here, that's the great thing is you can use competition. Right now they compete for your attention. Well, you can create competition for obedience. So if I say sit, and whoever sits first gets the attention, and the other dogs do not get the attention, eventually they start, well, I'll start paying attention and doing what that dog is doing because I want what that dog has. Now I'm going to show you a hand motion that we can use that'll make that a little bit more effective. Now, the more you do that, the easier it will be for you to get them to sit or do whatever you want. Now, for her, it's going to be a little bit different because she's deaf. So we're going to have to come up. She's a blue eye? Nope. And she has the mascara around both eyes. That's unusual. Yep. Usually, if they don't have the black mascara around the eye, that's blindness.
Oh, okay.
So can you hold your hand out like this? Actually, let's take one of the treats out of the bag while we have the bag here handy. That's part of why they're accosting you. So you're going to hold one in your hand like this with a cupped hand and hold it in front of her nose, and a flat hand. Like this, or yeah, there, and then go over her. Keep your fingers down.
She's not going to bite me?
She shouldn't. So now you're going to go over her head. No, we want to say about an inch away. So just go, there you go. And keep going over her head towards her butt. And as soon as she sits down, now give it to her. And pet her under her chin. I like to pet a dog, like I said, under the chin. That wasn't aggression, that was a warning. I got a treat. This treat is for me, not for you. A lot of people misinterpret a dog growling is aggression. That's part of their communication. It can be aggressive, but most of the time it's just, hey, leave me alone, give me some space. So that motion, so what I do is I start out here, and then I go over the dog's head. So that was a warning. Mm-hmm. So she bared her teeth, but that's not saying I'm aggressive. That's just saying, hey, I don't like your hand in front of my face. Right. I disagree. So let's go ahead. So what I want to do, I'll show you over here with one of these dogs. I'll switch hands. So I'll show with Mimi. Sit, sit, sit. So as soon as the butt hits the ground, we lower the hand. All they have to do is tilt their head down and lick, and they get it. Now, the second the treat touches their lips is when they want to hear the command word. Now, it's not good sit, because they key on the first sound they hear. And good doesn't mean anything. It means I hear it for everything. So we're just going to say sit, sit, sit. I put about a 1 second pause in between, and I only say the command word, nothing else, and I don't elongate it. A lot of people are like, sit.
Yeah.
So we just sit, sit, sit. As long as they're chewing, and I'm going to repeat it. Now, if I give it to them, they start chewing, but then they get up and walk away, I have to stop petting them. They're no longer in a sitting position. Now, if you do that consistently, petting with a purpose, after a while, you'll find that they start coming up and just sitting in front of you like this as a way of saying, please pay attention to me. Now, when they do, we want to make sure we acknowledge that and just go sit, sit, sit. We don't always have to give a treat. We just do that in the short term to condition them, and then we transition. That's why I like to let them have the treat and then scratch them under here. Eventually, the scratching part is the same thing as getting a treat, like Pavlov's response. Now, the first way we do it is if they nudge us, then we, what's your name, Cece?
Yeah, she's new.
You're very bold and very nice, calm energy. I like that.
Somebody abandoned her last Sunday, actually. So she's only been here.
She's only been here, and you look very well adjusted, sweetheart. So what we want to do is if the dog climbs up on you, I'm going to show in a different video ways to disagree. But at first, we want to, if they paw at you, nudge you, or scratch or bark, we give them a counter order. So let's ask her to SIT.
Sit.
Stand up. Now tell her to get off.
Off.
Now walk around and just walk right at her.
Oh,
There
off.
you, stop. Now hold your hand up flat like this. Say her name.
Sissy.
Now lower it. Now raise it up over her head. Cece, like this. Cece. So usually I want to go kind of an arc, and I want to stay close to her nose. Now, what we might have to do is, I don't know how well she's been trained because you just got her. We might have to condition her with some treats. So we'll get some treats and we'll go through training, do some of that off camera. Now, I want to finish up the petting with a purpose. The first thing you do is if they nudge you, we tell them to sit, and then we pet them for sitting. After a while, when they come and just start sitting on their own, then we just make sure we acknowledge that and say sit. Now, the other thing you can do is, let's say that this dog just came over and just laid down. I can reach over and pet the dog and come up with whatever the command word is for this position after they did the action. I didn't ask them to do it. They did it on their own. But if we do it within 3 seconds, they have the same connection. Oh, if I lay down or if I sit, sit, sit. So even though that I didn't ask, we're still reinforcing within a couple seconds. Yes, you look like Dalmatian Pit.
That's Pippi.
Pippi.
Yeah, Pippi Longstocking.
You are a good-looking girl. So I like this, coming and investigating me, the deaf dog. Now, I'm not trying to pet her or engage with her because she doesn't like that.
Nope.
So, but we're letting her come over. She's being respectful. Now, if she were to jump up on me, you would have to insert yourself between me and her and make her move away.
Right.
It'd be best if you corrected her as a primary than somebody else. All right, so that's petting with a purpose.